Welcome to a long-awaited showdown. Don't have to be a fan of either team to appreciate the matchup of these two elite quarterbacks. Both guys hoping to use this big stage and display their supremacy. Welcome to Syracuse University and the home of the Orange, a place lovingly called the Dome. As we'll see a playoff team from last year, the Colorado Buffaloes, taking on the 17th ranked team, the Syracuse Orange. EA Sports College Football, Chris Fowler, joined as always by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get right to the action. And the Buffaloes will kick this away to get us going. Return starts from inside the 5. Will be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. So Syracuse's offense making their way on the field today. Kirk, not often these days you see a matchup as good as this between two elite running backs, two guys with a focal point of the offense.
And talking to them this week, you know they are both hyped up to go against each other, both looking for bragging rights. Can't wait to see who ends up playing better.
Handoff from the shotgun. And the tackle is made after a 4-yard gain, so 2nd and 6. Offense moving to a bunch formation. Ball handed off. He's past the marker and still going. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time. Syracuse lines up quickly.
The offense comes up with a huge gain. It looks like they're going to go up-tempo. Keep this momentum going and keep the defense as much as you can on their heels.
They test the middle of the defense, but get nothing. 2nd down play coming up for this offense. Wants to throw it. The receiver makes the catch.
Chris, this guy has a big-time arm. He just zipped the ball in there. You know, you can sometimes show your arm strength in other ways than just bombing it deep.
Looking downfield near the end zone. And he makes the catch. Touchdown, Orange.
Well, that's a thing of beauty right there. Good job all around. Offensive line gave the quarterback enough time. Quarterback puts it right on the money. And with this receiver running a route like this, makes it pretty simple. All you have to do is get his head turned around, catch that football. He's already in the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's the point after attempt. PAT makes it 7-0. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away.
7, Colorado, 0.
And he's going to bring this out from a couple yards deep in the end zone. He'll be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. So Colorado's offense takes the field. Our first chance to see them today. We got a quarterback here coming off a sensational performance, Kirk. He sounded very confident when we met with him this week, but let's see if he can build on that this time.
Yeah, I think the last game that he played, he just threw the football on time. He didn't try to do too much, found the open receivers, took what the defense gave him, and as you mentioned, we had a chance to talk to him. I think that's what he's looking to try to do, not try to live up to the hype, just put together another solid performance.
Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff.
Well, the defensive line does their job eating up those double teams, freeing up the backers to make the play.
Quarterback in the shotgun here on 3rd down. The sure hands. It's Blue. Solid gain there. Moves the ball out to the 32. And the Buffaloes getting set on 1st and 10. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. Oh, and he misfires just beyond the receiver's grasp. It's early, but this crowd is fired up. Listen to this noise here. This is going to be tough for the visitors today. Breaks into the clear. 6-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pressure is coming. Now the pass rush gets home.
Nothing is more gratifying for a defense to be able to sit back and play zone and still get pressure on the quarterback with your defensive front.
Buffaloes will send their punt team onto the field. He's on to kick it away, helping his team with field position. And the returner elects to fair catch it, no return. So the Syracuse offense heads back out onto the field. They were clicking last time. Great protection. The pitch and catch was solid, right down for a touchdown. And that pass is hauled in over the middle. They bring him down quickly, a short pitch and catch to get a little bit closer to the marker. A quick throw out left, complete. And the defense smothers him for no gain. So a very makeable third down for the offense with a 29. Out of the gun now on third down. Tight end makes the grab. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play. Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Defense does a really nice job here of being able to contain that run game. Held him just 2 yards. Chris, to me, this changes the playbook a little bit now for the offense. The guy calling the plays at 2nd and 8, that's a different deal. Now he's got to probably thinking about going through the air instead of staying on the ground.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. And it's incomplete again. Fourth down coming up. And the punt team now on to kick it away. He's on to boot it away now. Not a very good boot. Sets up the offense in great field position. And here comes the Colorado offense back out on the field. The last time they were forced to punt it away. Can they get points out of this possession? Quick throw to the right. It's caught.
You see more and more offenses in college football going to 3 receivers, and the slot receiver a lot of times can become the go-to guy. He gets mismatches against either safeties, a nickelback, or a linebacker walked out, and you can take advantage of it.
Offense looking to convert on third and short from the 27. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. Oh, they trap him for a sack.
Well, I love this defense and how they're playing some man coverage. Let's face it, when you do that, it's a bit risky. You can leave your defensive backs out there on islands, but the good combination of good coverage with a good pressure on the quarterback, and you come up with sacks like this.
And the Buffaloes will bring their punt team on the field now. They're going to kick it away for the second time. Returner decides to fair catch this. Here comes the Syracuse offense back on the field. They were forced to punt it last time. Now they're looking to respond and add to this lead. They start the drive with a quick throw to the left side. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. Here's the second down play. Here's the handoff. The defense all over it. They stop him right at the line. Now the offense facing a third and long from their own 41. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Taking a shot deep down the right side. And the pass is dropped incomplete. Would have had a huge gain. Took his eye off the ball. Punt team ready to boot it away. Returner is tackled by this punt coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now from the 20-yard line. Makes a quick catch. Crosses the 35. And he's brought down, but there is a penalty marker out there. Let's check out this call. Well, the lineman a little too far downfield, like a sheep wandering away from the flock, and that's a costly penalty. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. And it's incomplete. The defender arrived the same time as the football, and now it's second down. And wow, listen to this crowd noise. This stadium is vibrating. That's why this is such a tough place for visitors to play. It's a nice wrap up there by the junior. So a tricky situation here. Third and very long inside your own 20. How much much of a risk do you take? You know this defense could be very aggressive at this moment. Grab behind the line. It's blue. The defense will wrap him up after a 7-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th down. Well, kick it away here. And the returner decides to signal fair catch. First play of the drive now. They'll start from the 32. Looking to throw it on 1st down. He cannot escape. It's a sack.
A loss of 7 yards on the play. 2nd down coming up.
And it's Syracuse on top right now. And at the end of the first quarter, let's check out the stats so far.
Syracuse 7, Colorado 0.
They flipped into the field. We're ready now for the 2nd period. Here we go. First play of the quarter. Offense setting up for a 2nd down play. Handoff here from the shotgun. Breaking free at the 35. They tackle him at the 48, but it's enough for a new 1st down. Syracuse lines up quickly.
Okay, here comes the hurry up. This is what they love to do. They get a big gain on the ground, hurry up into position, and go right back at that defense again.
And is intercepted. Look out, he's in the clear. Touchdown, Buffaloes. The defense gets involved in the scoring. How about that, Kirk? A defensive touchdown to tie this football game.
Well, you only get a handful of those in an entire season. To be able to come up with that in this game, to tie the game, is just big time by this defense, and it gets them right back where they need to be.
Now they line up to kick the extra point. And the PAT is good. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Fields it just outside the goal line. So the Syracuse offense has back out onto the field. They have got to bounce back on this possession after throwing a pick 6 last time out here. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. So behind the 6, 2nd and long from their 14. Looking for a man. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end. They make the tackle, but that pass creates a solid gain. Offense needing to keep this drive alive. It's a 3rd down play. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Running out of time in the pocket. They chase him down and tried to run for it, but it'll bring up 4th down. And here comes the punter onto the field. And the return man decides to signal fair catch. Offense ready to start this drive. Quarterback still with the football. And he's tackled right at the 40-yard line. Important 2nd down play coming up. Thrown quickly, caught in the right flat. And he runs out of bounds. That's a big gainer there. This line getting set up. It's a 1st down play. He'll hand it off. Stop after a small gain. Now looking at 2nd and 9. Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here. Tries to beat the pressure with a deep shot. Deep ball is caught for a huge gain here. They bring him down at the 7. The offense set up now with a 1st and goal.
That is great arm strength and accuracy by this quarterback. Let's not forget the wide receiver's job of bringing it in for that big gain.
1st and goal, they'll try to run it in. And he goes nowhere. Stop cold behind the line of scrimmage. Ball back at the 10-yard line now for 2nd and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Bringing pressure. Makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado.
Not necessarily something you would recommend, but when you know your talent, you know your talent. This quarterback does what you would not expect him to do, puts the ball into double coverage, and guess what? The receiver comes down with it for a touchdown.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. The PAT is good. They go up a touchdown, 14-7. Kickoff team out there. They are fired up after just scoring a touchdown.
14, Syracuse, 7.
Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And the coverage team gets the returner to the ground. Here comes the Syracuse offense back on the field. They were held to a quick 3-and-out last time, looking to put together they trap him and sack him back at the 10.
This is good pressure by the defense, but it just felt like the quarterback was holding on to the ball a little bit too long, which allowed the defense to get home.
So this offense faces a 2nd and 15. The O-line needs to regroup. Looking to throw here. The tight end has got it. He stopped just short of that first down marker, inches away from it. So the offense faces a 3rd and manageable here from the 25-yard line. Hebe keeps it himself.
Good call here by the offensive coordinator to go with quarterback sneak here on 3rd and inches, and he's going to get the first down. It's a great time to catch the defense off guard. Get up to the line of scrimmage quickly, get the lineman down, quarterback under the center, quick snap, and get the yardage you need for the first down.
The gain moves the ball to a 34. 2nd down play coming up. Play fake, looking to throw. Catch made on the left side. Ball carrier heads out of bounds, but the pickup is good enough to move the chains. First down. It's a quarterback keeper. He's got the first and still going. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play. Syracuse finds up quickly.
And that's what he likes to do. He knows he's a weapon out there, not just with his arm, but when he can pull it down on an option like this and pick up a big chunk of yards, it can leave any defense with their head spinning.
They stop the receiver, but that's a solid gain on that play. It's a draw. Looks like Syracuse will have the first down. First down and 10. And now the running back's got it again. A solid 8-yard gain brings up a 2nd and 2. And the single back takes the handoff. They bring him down, but that play will set up a 1st and goal now at the 10. It's the 2-minute timeout of what's been a really competitive game so far. Chance for the offense to take the lead before the break. Syracuse getting set now with a 1st and 10. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside give. And that run produces a decent gain. Timeout called by the defense. They'll go to the sideline and try to adjust. It's their first timeout. So here comes 2nd down now. Every play important down here in the red zone. Now they'll switch it up, looking to throw the ball here. Swarmed by the pass rush. A sack.
I can't believe the amount of pressure this defense is getting on this quarterback. Sack after sack. Well, you got to think about changing things up. The snap count, the scheme, anything at all to help this offensive line. They're overmatched so far in this game.
So here comes 3rd and long, trying to overcome that sack. This is going to be really difficult. Now in 3rd and very long, looking to throw. He's got it right near the end zone. And he scores. Touchdown, Syracuse.
Perfect timing here by this quarterback. Great read, puts the ball where his man can make a play on it, and they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. And he stopped at the 20. Tried to make something happen, but that's good coverage there. So their first play of the drive here coming up. Less than 2 minutes left on the clock. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. It's a quick grab. You bring him down, but he reaches the 30-yard line. Offense stops the clock with their second timeout to talk strategy. 1st down, looking to throw the ball. Grab down the middle. It's Blue. He stopped, but he gets a 1st down. They bring him down, but the veteran quarterback shows off that trademark arm strength. Here comes a 1st down pass attempt. Quick throw to his receiver. Diving grab. What a play by that receiver. And the Buffaloes come up to the line in a hurry-up. And looking to throw now on 1st down. Oh, down he goes. It's a sack. And a quick timeout call by the offense after the play. Pass protection a serious issue. Another sack makes it 2nd and long. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. Finds a receiver in the middle of the field. They bring him down, but an explosive play by this offense. Big gain. And now they'll just clock it to freeze the time. Offense getting set. It's 2nd down. From the gun, he looks for an open man. And he'll just throw it away to avoid the sack. They're backed up here trying to make something happen on the 3rd and long. Dropping back, looking to throw for the 1st down. Can't find anybody on 3rd down, throws it away, and now 4th down coming up. So they're short on 4th down, and the coach decides to trot out the field goal team. And that kick right down the middle. Can't hit it any better than that. And they jump back in front.
Oh, Chris, it's a nice kick here to polish off that drive with at least 3 points up on the board.
So here's the kickoff now. Offense settling for 3, tacking on a little bit of momentum before the halftime break. He'll bring it out from his end zone. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. So they start the drive looking for some late fireworks here. Less than 30 seconds before halftime. Offense will keep it on the ground here. As the 1st down is still going. Timeout is called to talk strategy. Time for just 1 or 2 plays here before halftime. So the offense takes the field in the final seconds of the half. Chance for just a couple more plays. 1st down. Looking to throw the football. Grabbed by the receiver. And he breaks the tackle on the way to a solid gain there. And a timeout is called to talk strategy. Close game here as we approach halftime. Quarterback looking to pass here on 2nd down. Looking for a man deep on the right side. And the pass ball is incomplete, but a penalty flag comes out. This looks like a pretty obvious call against the defense. And that PI call is going to give them 1 more untimed play in the half. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. It's another deep shot. Pass not complete, but there was a lot of contact there, and here comes a late flag.
Pass interference. Defense.
So, of course, the half cannot end on a defensive penalty. We got 1 final untimed down with 0s on the clock. Oh, he missed it. Off target that time. A missed chance to tie this game. Still down by 3. Minutes going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it down to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Tough to beat a good first half of football in a great town like Syracuse. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to watch this one unfold. Back to our guys in the booth.
Syracuse will kick it off to get the second half underway. He'll return it from inside the 5. And they stop him at the 23. That's solid coverage. And the Colorado offense is back out on the field. The passing game very hard to stop in the first half. Let's see if they can begin to feature the run game here. Snags a quick throw. Tackle made at the 37. That's a solid gain. First down here for this offense. Clear movement before the snap, and it'll be a false start.
False start on offense.
And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. Looking to set up a screen pass here. Defense makes the tackle, but that screen produces a pretty solid gain. And completion makes it second and short. From the shotgun now, here's a handoff inside. They bring him down, but the gain moves the ball into enemy territory at the 43. The Buffaloes lining up here on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a handoff.
It's exactly what you want to see as a play caller. You get positive yards to be able to kind of keep you on schedule as a play caller. That's all you can ask for. Good job up front and a nice run.
Lets it fly to the wideout. Caught over the middle. It's Blue. And he takes it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Buffs.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath just like this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
And now they'll set up for the point after.
Is on for the extra point.
The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. You got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away.
24, Syracuse, 14.
Looks like the returner will try and field this one. So the Syracuse offense heads back out onto the field. An inside give now from the shotgun. They test the middle there, but get nothing. Syracuse lines up quickly.
Well, that was definitely not what they had in mind, but look at this. Here comes the tempo again.
There's a fastball, but it's intercepted. Tackled after a short return to the 23. Nice play by this defense.
Chris, he's just trying to find the hole in the zone coverage. But, as you know, those windows can open and close pretty quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So the timing's got to be just right, or you're going to see an interception like this.
The offensive coordinator's got to love this starting field position. Off the play fake, looking to throw on first down. It's a shovel pass, caught.
Well, the running back that time just kind of sneaks out of the backfield and shows his hands on that nice catch.
And the Buffaloes are in the red zone. And they'll run it. Hand it off to the running back. And he's brought down, but not before he gets first down yardage. The offense threatening, close to the goal line with a new set of downs. Here's the handoff on first and goal. The running back has been busy today, but not much to show for it. The defense all over him again. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw it. Defense is coming after him. Able to throw it away. He felt the heavy pressure, took a hit, but got rid of the football. Offense moving backwards here, a long way from the goal line now. Launching one to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Buffaloes. That's another passing strike from this quarterback. He is having himself a tremendous ball game.
Boy, this guy just can't miss. Every single time he throws, it seems like he's coming up with another touchdown. The receivers are running good routes. He has enough time to throw. And, man, this poor defense, they might want to think about changing up coverage because right now it is not working.
Now the all-important extra point. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown.
31, Syracuse, 14.
He's going to bring this out a few yards deep in the end zone. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. Here comes the Syracuse offense back on the field. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. Solid run, moves the ball out across the 20 to the 21. They'll run it here. He's got the first down and still motoring. Brought down, but it's past the line to gain. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. Play action here on first down. Short connection to the tight end here.
Well, this is why running the football is so important. Run the ball, and then you go play action. It affects the eyes of the safeties and the linebackers and frees up some space for the tight end to be able to pick up a nice gain.
Here's a screen pass to the running back. They bring him down at the 44. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield now. This Syracuse offense is quickly moving down the field. Fires it to the wideout. He's got a man down the middle. And the gain just good enough for a first down. A new set of downs after that completion. And they'll run it out of the shotgun. They bring him down, but this offense now in scoring position. First down from the 30. Syracuse getting set now with a 1st and 10. Tailback with another carry. Slams right into a wall. They've got him for a loss.
Chris, textbook job by the defense surrounding the runner and preventing that play from being bounced to the outside.
The first real speed bump of this impressive drive. Offense comes up now 2nd and 11. Running back grabs it on a screen. Play never had a chance. Defense grabs him for a loss. Urgency now for the offense that hate to come up empty on this drive, down multiple scores. Looking to throw it on 3rd and very long. And he dumps it off to the tight end. Tackle is finally made down at the 11-yard line.
Really good job here of converting by this offense. And let's face it, at this point in the game, because they have such a big hole to climb out of, they've got to be able to convert and come up with a new set of downs. They do it here. Now they got a real shot to cut into this lead.
Syracuse lines up quickly. He's going to hand this off. Going to try to run inside, but nowhere to go. Looks like a player is down injured at that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check it out. Coming to the line on 2nd down. This is important. They want to avoid a 3rd and long. The shotgun handoff here. Ball carrier brought down at the 4. Offense in great scoring position here. This is crucial. Defense needing a stop on 3rd down, trying to force a field goal. Can he make it to the marker? That's a good effort on the run, but the defense stops him just short of the marker. 4th down now.
Offense facing 4th down.
And the quarterback looking to make a play through the air. And it's caught! Touchdown, Orange!
Yeah, this guy has a knack for the end zone, doesn't he? That's 2 touchdowns for this guy today, and I don't know if he's done yet.
set up for the PAT. And the PAT makes it a 10-point deficit, 31-21. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away.
Colorado, 31. Syracuse, 21.
He's going to return it from near the goal line. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. For the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. And brought down at the line with that big defensive tackle. Offense getting set up. Here's second down. Caught in the backfield. It's Blue. To get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion. So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. Third and long. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Makes the catch. It's Blue. And he'll pick up the first down, stopped at the 27. And so far, we've been treated to a duel of big A wide receivers. These guys have been putting on a show, piling up the highlights through three quarters.
Syracuse, 21.
One quarter to go. Let's see if this sets up as a classic finish. Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. Looks right for a quick completion. He's brought down quickly as short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker. Second down after that previous play. Back in motion now. Looking to chuck it again. Dump off caught by the running back. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion. Third down upcoming after that completion. Grab down the middle. It's Blue. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a first down. There's the snap. Looking to throw the ball. Quarterback delivers quickly. A receiver on the screen. Nowhere to run. They'll corral him for no gain. Makes a quick grab. Receiver brought down after a short pitch and catch. They come up third and short. This is the 8th play of the drive. Quick throw. That's an RPO caught on the left side. Drop for a loss after the catch on third down. Sets up a fourth down now. They'll kick it away here. See if he can make something happen with the return. And the returner brought down by the coverage team there. So the Syracuse offense has back out onto the field. The last possession, they really had the passing game clicking. Moved right down the field for a touchdown. Goes to his right side there for the completion. Tackle made it at 41. That's a nice gain, getting closer to midfield. Syracuse lines up quickly.
It's a nice completion there, Chris. And this possession at this point in the game is critical for them. They've got to focus on putting points on the board right now to make this a one-possession game.
Gets the first and still running. They get the senior to the ground, but it's a nice run there. Great start to the drive. Back-to-back explosive plays, and now another first down. On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Catch made on the out route. Tackle made, but the gain moves the ball to 30. Syracuse getting set now with a 1st and 10.
This guy's been such a big factor in this game. Already a couple touchdowns. Now they need the first down. They dial him up again, and he delivers.
Looking to throw it on 1st down. The pass rush closing in.
Well, that's just being crafty right here by this quarterback. It's not there. You pick up what you can and stay ahead of the chains. And who knows, do this enough, they'll have to start spying on this quarterback, which could open up some passing lanes that weren't there before.
Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He's tackled quickly, but the yardage is good enough for the first down. And a player is down injured after that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check him out. Syracuse has moved into the red zone. From the shotgun, handoff inside. And a decent gain there before the defense brings him down. So down here in the red zone, every yard tough to find. Here is a crucial play coming up. And there's the handoff. Able to fight for a decent gain here in that running play. Here we go, third down, close to the goal line. They can still get a first down without scoring. It's a keeper trying to get to the marker.
You know, even though that these guys are facing a deficit, they're not just going all through the air. Love the fact that you're running the football, keeping this defense honest, not panicking by just throwing every single...
Touchdown, Syracuse! This offense really clicking. Runner shows toughness and will, refusing to be brought down, ends up in the end zone.
Yeah, that defender had no chance bringing down this ball carrier by himself. That's why you better have a couple defenders, or else you're going to have more touchdowns like this.
They're setting out to try the PAT. And the extra point gets him within 3, 31-28. Looks like a man is down on the field after the last play, so we'll take a timeout. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. And here's the return from inside the 5. They'll be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the Colorado offense is back out on the field. Forced to punt last time, trying to add points, build the lead right here. They start the drive with a quick throw to the right side. And the defense swarms, not much of a gain on that completion. Leaning on the run game here. Jukes to get free. Tackled at the 32. That's enough for a first down. Offense operating from the pistol. And they'll go right back to him on first down. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. Offense getting set. Second down play here. They'll run it from the gun. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Quarterback will throw this out of the RPO. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. What's the play call here on second down for this offense? Quarterback will throw it up the one-pass option. Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the marker. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. QB decides to keep it here. Finds room at the 30. They make the stop, but a big play moves the ball to the red zone.
Man, we know this guy can spin it, but you can't forget about his wheels, too. That's another first down for this offense, and they are feeling it.
We'll head to the 2-minute timeout as this offense tries to work the clock and preserve this lead. Big guys up front lined up. It's first down. And it's a kneel down. Good job bleeding the clock on this drive so far. They'll come up on a second down. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Grab made by the tight end. And the crowd coming to life here, trying to help this defense down in the red zone. On third down, he drops to throw. Looking for his big tight end. Makes the catch and gets his foot down. What a play. Good for a first down. And the Buffaloes trying to punch it in. It's first and goal. And the quarterback just kneels down. That's the kind of matchup we hope for, Kirk. This team came in higher ranked, respected. They were fully tested. They had to show how good they were to survive the upset here today.
And I really think that the coaches and the players, they love playing in these kind of games. You really are going to get tested. You find out what you're made out of. And these guys really met the challenge. I'm very, very impressed with the execution and how they played this game. And now they go to the next step.
And that's going to wrap it up. For Kirk Street, I'm Chris Fowler. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.